All right, everybody, this is another episode of First and Framerates. This is the podcast where we try our best to give you our honest opinions with no acting out, nothing crazy going on. It's just us. It's just who we are. Our personalities is what it is. I hope you take that for what it is. And today, I have my co-host with me. It's Bills. What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Chilling. What's going on with y'all?
Yeah, man, I'm good. And got another host. He's gonna be with us as guest host. It is Pooh. What's going on?
I'm doing great. Hello, everyone.
All right, if y'all don't know, Pooh's been on and off the podcast for a while. He's not an official host, but he does come on a good bit of times. If you don't know, even back to the old discussion days before I had this podcast, he was on this channel, and he does a lot of things on his channel. You should go check it out. I'll put the link in the description so you can go check out what he does as well. And he also was pretty important this week as far as the football gaming community. We will get into that as well. But first, we have various topics, but we just don't know what order we want to go into. I know I usually pick the first topic, but I know Bill's possibly still just waking up from earlier today, but I'm gonna let him pick the first topic. So,
Well, I would say let's continue the conversation of Mr. Cal Anderson.
Oh my god.
Just get that out of the way because yeah. I'll save my thoughts for last. I don't know which one of y'all want to go first.
all right,
Virtual, that's all you, bro.
all right, I'm gonna give people some backdrop if they don't know what happened. I mean, if you haven't checked out my last video, or you haven't checked out what has been going on in this entire fiasco. All right, well, you know that there are various football games coming out. You know, you have Access Football, you have the one from Maximum Games, you have the Canadian football game that's out. You still have IMV Gaming, that's another one, and of course you have Madden. Well, anyway, we've talked about this on a discussion that I had on the old channel where Cal Anderson, he was saying that he was a developer and he was going to come out with his own game and he needed this, that, and the third. And I really wanted him to do something because the more the better. The more games we have is always going to be great for gamers in general. You just don't want to have one type of game out there. I've always been against that. But anyway, he said he had this game. He wanted to put it out. He had some devs, and everybody was going to push this, that, and the third, and they're going to, you know, make it really nice for us. See what they're gonna do. Since then, he's been fairly quiet for the most part. You used to see him on Twitter every now and then. He'll talk to us and on Twitter, and actually, let us know what's going on. And he went completely quiet. We all know about Access Football was coming out. Then you had the other two games that I mentioned, and IMV came up. And, all of a sudden, out of the blue, Kyle comes back into the fold. And he comes back into the fold with this video. The video looked kind of weird, but at the same time, it seemed like he was really ready to show us what he had. So, I looked at it. Well, I'll tell you what, Dollar Jr. sent me the link to the video. I was at work at the time, and I had no idea. He was like, you need to check this out. So when I checked it out, I was like, oh my God, this man really used EA Sports footage as his own game. And some people, were like commenting saying that, oh yeah, this is what it is, some people were rooting them on. I'm dead serious. I looked at the
I'm
comments.
listening to you, bro. But
I looked at the comment section and some people were rooting him on, and I put in the comments, I was like, what the fuck is this? He's about to get sued by EA. And that's when, a couple other people was like saying the same thing. And after that, not even like 5 minutes later, I went back to the video. The video was taken down. That was after my comment. And he came back with another video that was damage control. And then that's when more people tried to figure out what was going on after I put that tweet out there. And luckily, Pooh, he saved the video. And he saved the video, and people looked at the video. Some more people looked at the video Pooh saved. And you still had some people still saying, oh, that's his game, and this, that, and the third.
man,
I'm dead serious, man. You had people saying that was his game until I had to put that video out. I had to put a video out. And I know Ryan Moody put a video out that said it had some, some issues he didn't know. But I think Pooh, what did you do? Did you put a comparison out first with NCAA 14?
No, I just straight up put the vid out. I mean, like I saw
No,
him.
no, no. You put the picture
Oh,
side by side.
okay, yeah. I think I used NCAA 12 or 13, whichever one, and I just took a picture of it pre-snap. I'm like, okay, this is what he's trying to give you pre-snap. Look at the player models, look at the way how they're positioned, look at their animations. I'm like, yo, you sure this is game, bruh?
Yeah, so when you put that out, some people looked at it and they was like, yeah, it looks like, but, and I know one person in particular, I'm not going to say his name, but he was really backing Cal's project, and he was like, he really thought it was his game, and then I was like, nah, I held back. I said, no, I'm not going to do it, but I was like, no, you know what, I need to do this, and I said, I know I have this game because I have a lot of football games, and I had to look at Pooh's video again. I said, you know what, I know what game that is. I know what teams he's using. And I pulled the game out, and sure enough, as soon as I put it in my PS3, bam, it was exactly the same game. I was like, yeah, I'm going to put these up side by side and let everybody know what's going on. So basically, long story short, Cal used NCAA 11 and tried to say that was his game that he was using for his game, for his own game. And you do something like that, EA Sports is going to sue that shit out of you. There's no way around it.
Free money, bro. You giving them extra money, man.
It's no way around it. I mean, Cal could have fucked around and not have nothing. You know what I mean? They could have took his house and took everything. So I thought it was hilarious, the fact that he would do that. So you've been wanting to talk for a minute. Let everybody know your thoughts about it.
Okay, so I was sleeping. And I woke up to you hitting me up about this, and I'm like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. Like, this shit's too good to be true. Like, we already have enough comedy on Twitter, but this is too good to be true. Like, this is the easiest material that we've ever gotten.
But you would think after everything that happened in this community, you wouldn't think nothing like this happen again.
Right. So it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, this man pulled an Elvis Presley. He's the Elvis Presley of the sports community right now. This man literally said, I'm going to put a filter on an EA game when everybody knows what EA games look like. They all got the same numbers.
No way to dispute it.
Oh my! Everybody knew that was ugly ass NCAA 11 with the non-consecutive hit tackles and no double hit. Everybody knew that was a game. And then he's talking about, oh well, we'll try to put out something that looks a bit more like ours. Yeah, like maybe
your own game
that's yours.
He thought he's gonna take the icons down, and it's like, what? How you gonna go in the code and take the icons down off of a game unless you're just gonna mask it and try to say it was? Listen,
that's like me plagiarizing somebody's song that they done copyrighted and bit. Well, maybe I should go back and make it more original. Yeah, take every line that you had in the song out because it wasn't yours.
We should have some of us. We should have never trusted the smoothie guy. You should have never trusted.
Bro,
this smoothie guy.
But I never trusted him. So these people who feel betrayed is just kind of funny to me because...
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm like...
I never trusted this dude.
I mean, the way I looked at it, it was like, look, if you're going to do it, do it. That's the way I looked at it. I never looked at it like you had my support. I'm like, look, if you're going to do it, do it. Because at this point, we already been through Name and Grow. We done been through other games that said they was coming and going. We've seen other, companies saying that they were going to, people saying that they were going to come back and make a game. So for me, when he said he was going to do all this, first of all, I knew he was a musician. So I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, whatever. And then you turn around and the video that we saw prior to I think it was the video we saw prior to the initial interview we had with him. He was making smoothies on his channel.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you a musician, now you making health snacks, and you want to make a game too?
Choose one.
Right. It's like
because it sure as hell ain't video games, man. Like either you trying to get people to lose weight, or you trying to serenade that female at the bar, bro. But you got to choose one, yo,
No, he sure enough
because
wasn't. He sure enough wasn't
uh,
trying to make games.
man, he trying to copy games though. He's trying to steal games. Damn, man.
It is pretty sad, man, when you really look at that whole situation. It's like the last thing that we really need to be talking about is something like this because, I mean, the football gaming community has been wanting alternative forever, and then it's like now we get something that looks like going to be. It's going to be alternative. It's not going to be something similar. You know,
Right.
Axis Football is doing their thing, or whatever the case may be. You have other companies trying to do what they have to do. The last thing we need is some, Joe Schmo coming trying to pull off something like this. I mean, if you don't got it, you don't got it, and it's okay.
And the proof and how gullible this community is.
Yeah, because
No, I'm
some
telling
people,
you, it's still his game. It
yeah.
is.
Yeah, some people were actually jumping on it like it was his game. Like, what? Are you serious? No,
You
see.
guys can't. And you know what? I'm gonna call somebody out, and he's a clown. And I'm gonna call him out. Kirk Ford. This clown went on a video talking about, "Can you please prove that it's your game?" Yeah, okay. Let's see that shit.
Crickets.
Let's see that shit,
We
bro.
haven't heard not one answer from Kyle about that. But
Nothing.
there's no reason to there's
He's
no
gonna
reason
disappear
to.
into like a thief in the night, man.
Well, there's no reason. I already did the comparison. There's no reason for him to even try to say that it's his. And,
No.
and the reason why I did that comparison, it was because people need to know what's going on.
They do.
You've been bamboozled and hoodwinked behind stuff like this for too long.
So much,
This
man.
stuff needs to stop. It needs to stop.
I mean, from all the E3 rumors every year, to 2K's coming back to
Which
this
is not happening. Y'all
Damon
should have gave up
Crow.
about that shit long ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
Damon Grow, 2K's coming back, and then you have
Right.
these other games coming, and not to knock these new games that are coming or whatever, but people are really thinking that these games going to be like some big time Madden killer. No,
Right.
these guys are in their own lane just trying to make a product, and I commend Axis for that. Axis said this from the get go. They're not trying to be that game. They're just trying to
No.
make a quality football game. And I respect that because they're not trying to be something that they're not. Unlike another guy who was using Joe Montana's name and he tried to make something bigger than what it is, and you see how that played out.
Yeah, I mean, it's admirable what they're doing. What they're doing is they're providing an alternative, which is what we asked for. And who knows, maybe down the road, it might be something sort of like a Madden killer if Madden continues down the road that they're headed. But for right now, people need to kind of just relax, and they need to be happy about the fact that we're getting an alternative, and Axis 18, I think, is going to be a good alternative.
People
And
got
that's where we are right now.
Yeah, but people have to understand. You got to think 3 years ago, 4 years ago, Axis was on PC and people clowned that game.
Yep.
And, I bought it because I wanted to support it. I bought 15, I bought 16, I got 17 for free. But, look at it now. 18 is about to be on consoles. And it may not be the best move for them to be on consoles because for the simple fact that people are going to automatically try to compare it to Madden. For me,
Yep.
and I was talking to somebody on Twitter earlier today, I was like, the best thing Axis could do is just try to get into that area where Super Mega Baseball is. And because the game can be sim, but
Right.
try to grab that demographic first. Because those people like those type of games, and then try to make your game as simulation as possible. But
And it's just like we said about NBA Live. They should have been trying to capitalize on everything that 2K did not do well. If you're
Right.
going to directly compete with a game, you don't try to compete with them on things that they actually do well. You try to capitalize on the things that they don't do well.
Right.
And that is how you supply
And,
a quality alternative.
And I'm glad you said that because that's one thing that Axis is trying to do. They're really trying to push this franchise mode thing out, and I'm actually curious to see how that plays.
I am too.
If the gameplay is fairly okay and they have a good franchise mode, I might jump on it and play it. And matter of
I
fact,
feel
But for me, buying it depends on how it is. I may buy it to support. It might just sit
Mm,
up here on the shelf. But long as they have the money to make the game bigger than what it can be, I'm all for that because,
right.
I can shell out $19 real quick just to, just to play. But everybody can't do that. But I don't mind doing that because I
Mm-hmm.
see the bigger picture. I saw that
Yeah.
I saw it when it came out on PC back with Axis 15. A lot of people was like, yeah, I can't do this, but I knew what Danny was trying to do, and I saw the vision, and I'm actually proud of him to get that game on consoles because nobody thought it was going to get to that point when it first came out.
Is that
Yeah, it
not
has to
that
be
fucking
respectable.
fast? Not that fast?
Right,
I was expecting at least a couple more years.
Yeah.
right. I mean, and on top of that, though, entire time, like we said, he's not trying to be something that he's not. He's just trying to take the steps to make a quality game, and I give him credit for that. I have no,
Right.
I can't get mad at that. It's one thing that if you're trying to say, oh, you're in the comment section of people's Twitch account, and you're trying to say that we're going to do this, we're going to do that, or somebody made this big ass you know, Operation Sports post and you don't deny it, you don't say nothing, so everybody is running with it and you just let it get out
Mm-hmm.
of hand. And then when we get there at E3, you look like somebody about to beat the shit out you and you're teary eyes, making this damn. I mean, I swear that interview at E3 that Damon Grove did was like some legendary shit. I wonder if that's still on YouTube because I want to see it just to see
It probably
the,
is.
the 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 fear in his eyes when he had to tell everybody it was a mobile game. Oh my
He was
god!
like, oh,
You would have
shit.
thought every member of the sim community was like standing outside, like about to mob the place. Based on the look on his face, like he looked like he just knew he was about to get an ass whooping. It turned out to only be virtual, as far as we know. No pun intended. A
I
virtual
think it's
ass
still
whooping.
here. I think it's still here. Hold on. I'm
But I
gonna-
mean,
Oh my
but yeah,
god!
as far as Axis 18, you got to respect the fact that they're staying in their own lane. And a lot of times when a game or a developer stays in their own lane and they use that sport as the standard and not the other game that's out there, then a lot of times it turns out to be the best route. For example, MLB The Show doesn't have any competition. They're using baseball as the standard for the video game.
Man,
So it has to be respected.
yeah, that's another that's something else is interesting because if they use the sport as the basis of making their game, they
Hmm.
could go far. It just
Exactly.
it all depends on what revenue they get in behind what revenue they get behind the game that they get.
Yeah, I mean, the sky is the limit when you use the sport as, the standard for your game, because then you always have something to add. You always have ways to innovate. Games will always be missing something from the sport that can be added or improved upon. So, um, that's definitely a good thing for Axis 18, though.
Yeah,
Um,
I think no, I don't want to see the video. I just was wanting to know if it was still on there. I'm glad that you said it, but
yeah, retro results still got it.
yeah, Resolve still has it.
He
Right.
still got it. He was talking over it, but you can still see the look on his face.
Oh my god, that face, that look on his face was priceless, man. That was terrible. Anyway, we're going to jump from
Looked like his
that.
parents just looked at his report card and saw all F's on there.
The fear.
So we're gonna jump to another. Not we're gonna keep on with the football game and something that we discussed real briefly before we started. Um, I know Ryan Moody. Shout out to him. He gave me a little boost on the channel with my last video. He actually had people come my way and look at that video that I put out about the comparison. And he put out another video that I saw on Twitter about Madden abandoning their fan base, and just wanted to know from between us three, how do we feel about that? Like you look at how people I think he did another video talking about their favorite Maddens, and a lot of people go back to the older Maddens, talking about this was my favorite Madden, that was my favorite Madden. I think he said maybe one or two people. He said that one or two people actually said Madden 18 was their favorite favorite game. So with that being said, do you think people are really looking at Madden 18, or they're really looking at these older games? And on top of that, do you think EA Sports in general are leaving out or abandoning their fan base? Pooh, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go first with that.
Shit. Man. I think that I kind of get where Moody is coming from, especially since this has been kind of happening for at least a few years now, where I think EA has been abandoning their fan base when it goes to Madden. I feel like even when Rec was there, I felt that kind of way, but just didn't touch on it like that. So, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious when you look back and you play the past Madden games, especially on PS2, and then you look at them from PS2 to PS2 Xbox to PS3 360, then to now, which is PS4 and Xbox One. You feel like you see a major decrease, not only in gameplay, but you see a decrease on what you'll see in certain game modes. The only thing you'll see is an increase is just Madden Ultimate Team, and that'd be it. So, I mean, like, I guess for me, I kind of get where he's coming from. So, I feel like he's correct on there. There isn't much for me to talk about on this subject, but I do kind of agree with what he's saying here.
No, I mean, at the bottom line, you're looking at. I've been feeling the bottom line. I've just been feeling this way for a while now. That's why I've been a really big advocate for playing PS2, in some cases even PS3 Maddens or NCAA's. I don't think the gameplay overall for the current Maddens are bad. I just think their direction in certain modes and how they advertise the game is in a totally different direction. Where people like me, when I grew up on the game, it was all about playing a football game and playing franchise mode. And, I've been that way since, man, I remember when I used to play Madden 95, Madden 96 on the Genesis or the Super Nintendo and actually go through a whole season playing those games. And then, back then they didn't really have a franchise mode. It was just one season. But I played all 16 games and won the Super Bowl or played or lost or in the playoffs or whatever the case may be. I grew up on that. And like now you're looking at it, 10, 20, years later, the whole direction is in another, it's totally different from where we are now. So for me, I think they abandoned it on that aspect. I don't think the gameplay is bad. I think Madden, at least Madden 17 and 18, the gameplay has been good enough. And there were some points when certain patches wasn't in the game and the game just played right. The game played absolutely beautiful. But I just think they abandoned their core guys who grew up on it. Your mid, your early 20s to the late 40s guys who grew up playing Madden back in college or high school, or they grew up on that type of gameplay or those type of modes, and it's gone now. So, Bills, what you think?
I would say that the answer to this question is very generational. I think it really depends on which age group you ask, because if you ask somebody like me or you or even Pooh to a certain extent, they'll remember the PS2 days when everything was geared towards football. It wasn't geared towards gimmicky football. It wasn't geared towards MUT. It was geared towards football and supplying the best simulation football experience possible. Now, a couple things have changed since then that have lended itself to this industry and this game more specifically becoming what it is. First thing being MUT and online gaming evolving. That's one thing. The other thing is pretty much the fact they have no competition. So when you look at those two things, you realize that there isn't a pressure to make a Madden 04 now. There isn't a pressure to make a game that quality. They can go at their own pace, and there's also not any pressure to really make a franchise mode or even a complete package year to year that there was before, because like I said, a lot of people are MUT heads. And when you have situations like that, then we kind of get left in the cold, and we have to just hope one year that they decide to focus on something that we care about, because we're not online gamers. And I don't think we're the first priority. I don't care what they try to tell us. It's indicative that we're not, based on the games that are coming out and how they are coming out and what they are focusing on year to year. So I think it's really based on age group, but I mean, I think it's hard to argue that the PS2 Maddens weren't the best. 360 Maddens were pretty much garbage, and these last two Maddens have been good, but they haven't been up to par with the PS2 Maddens. I don't think it's close.
Especially in the modes, I totally agree. What about you, Pooh?
I agree.
And that's it. You just agree.
I mean,
'cause,
there's
like,
not much else to really say. I mean, like, the
yeah,
proof is in the pudding.
yeah. I mean, there's not an argument that can really even be made. Honestly, I mean, you anywhere from the tour bus that they had going city to city, teaching you how to play football on a base level, how to throw, how to play the game, but not only that, but how to actually play football.
But you know
In
what?
general,
You know
and
what? You
shit
know,
like that.
no, I'm glad you brought that up because I definitely remember the Madden tour bus. And
Definitely.
when those tour buses when they used to come into town or when they used to have it on TV, those
Hmm.
guys used to go on that bus and try to play football the right way. They didn't try to
Yep.
do none of this competition stuff that they got
No.
now. They tried to play straight up. And I don't remember. I remember people used to talk about money plays, but they didn't use it to exploit. But
Right.
I mean, those guys really tried to play head up, and I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, even as far as like I know people are gonna say, the people who actually didn't play PS2 Madden and they just want to look and make a case for these generations games, they'll probably say something like, well, "What about Madden cards?" Well, look, Madden cards was something that you could use either against your friends for
First of
fun
all,
or
first of
against
all,
the computer.
first of all,
Hmm.
Madden cards were free. You had to earn them in game.
And that's another thing. Madden
Yep.
cards are free, and they popped up every time you loaded the game up, and they were things that you earned from playing the game well. You can't compare that. You weren't going on
Right.
and saying, "Oh, look at this DLC pack! I get 5 Madden cards." Like, no, that's not how
No,
it works.
that stuff was on the disc, and you went in, and then, like say if you got a 30-yard run, or you made 2 touchdowns, or you got 2 picks with one player,
Right,
those 2 interceptions would say, hey, you get these many credits. And those credits,
Hey.
you'll
right.
go in and you will buy the Madden cards off the credits. And with those credits, you used to get historic players, used to get historic playbooks, used to get
Hmm.
historic teams, or
Yeah.
used to get stadiums, used to get old
You
jerseys.
used to get content that you would have to pay for today, and not only
Exactly,
that,
exactly.
not only that, but I mean, the closest thing you would get to MUT Team back then is creating your own team. And guess what? The depth that you could go to create your own team is something that MUT simply doesn't have because it's very vanilla as far as creativity. You're looking at creating stadiums, and you could take that team into a franchise as stacked as they were. You could put anybody from a free agency pool or any player in the league pretty much on your team and stack it up. But as far as the creativity that was there, I mean, MUT, there isn't really any creativity. It doesn't matter what player you put at what position. And, I mean, it's gotten to the point where it seems like people play MUT and they forget that they're even playing football. They're really just playing some sort of, like, card collection game.
Right.
Like, they're playing with baseball cards. It's not...
Exactly.
So, I mean, like I said, for me, the focus used to be on football. Now it's on gimmicks, and that's where we get left out in the cold.
Yeah.
So,
The
I
Madden
agree.
challenge, man, that was the shit. And then the thing with that is, like, the game would actually, in this case, basically tell you, I mean, like, the higher difficulty you go, you get more points.
right,
That's the crazy shit about it.
right. And I mean, and also, as far as the PS2 base, what they had as far as challenging you on the higher difficulties, when you played on All Madden, you weren't getting bullshitted.
Bro,
I
you
told
got
VF,
2
I
minutes,
told
bro.
VF the other day, you put that passing sensitivity slider, which they had back then, you put that joint all the way up. If you wanted to overthrow a ball on purpose, you could do it.
Yeah,
However you wanted
I
to lead.
that
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that's been missing out of Madden for a long time, where you can actually. I ain't gonna say you can do it still. You can throw the ball wherever you want to in Madden
Hmm.
18. It's very hard to overthrow a ball like how easy it was back
Or
then,
underthrow it for that
or
matter.
underthrow it. It was very easy to over and underthrow a ball back in the PS2 days. Now, I think like seriously, like it was like Madden 04 had very good passing. I remember Madden 07 was another one that had very good passing. And it was like you could throw the ball almost anywhere, and they kind of got away. They definitely got away from it in PS3. It was
And
terrible
what
in PS3.
happened was they started adding these two-player animations, and it's like, okay, I still talk about this to this day with current gen Madden. You still can't throw a low back shoulder pass and
No.
get the proper animation on the goal line. For something that's the most unguardable play on a goal line as far as passing, they really haven't put that in the game yet.
If
You could
anything,
throw that back shoulder
I
pass
think
in
the- I
all
think
pro
the
2K8.
If
Yeah.
anything, that's what I'm saying. Like, if anything, you can guard it. You can. I'll tell you, I'm scared to throw a fucking fade in Madden. I never thought I would say that.
because you end up underthrowing it. You can never overthrow it.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
And I
And
think
even
the
if you
closest
do overthrow
I
it,
think
even if,
I think the closest thing Madden has gotten to doing that was, you hold press the L1 button and
Mm-hmm.
you throw the high pass. I think
Right.
that's the closest thing they got to it, but completely throwing it over the shoulder like that,
Yeah.
you don't have that.
Because there's still a magnet that keeps the ball in bounds and keeps it in a certain spot where there can be an animation that triggers. Instead of you throwing to the back shoulder over or, behind the guy, you can't do that anymore. And that's where the strategy goes out the window. If I'm playing my cousin now, he knows he doesn't have to fear a back shoulder pass because you can't really execute it properly.
exactly.
But I
Yeah.
mean, back in the day, that was something you had to look for because you could throw the ball pretty much any timing, and the reception animation was completely separate from the throw animation and where the ball was going. Everything was separate and it worked together, but at the same time, if you threw the ball and you had bad timing, the ball wouldn't just magically warp into somebody's hands. It wouldn't magically warp into a position where a play could be made. Sometimes it was just a wasted play, and that's how it is in the NFL.
Yep. Madden 06, Madden 06, Madden 07 in this case for me, it was actually good for you to have a receiver that you can hit the fade with at
Right.
any point in time. All you
Yeah.
gotta do is just throw it to the left. If he's lined up on the left, bam, that's like back shoulder. I know damn well he gonna make the catch.
And I remember how I used to do it on the PS2 days. I would send my guy on a streak and just throw it early.
Exactly.
Especially if I
you'll
saw
get
the guy playing over top. It was easy money.
it.
But, I mean, that's things that you can't really do anymore. And then, of course, now there's rumors of some of the features for Madden 19, and I'm hearing that apparently they're going to be focusing on passing again. Seems like you do that every 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
Well, okay,
we'll have to wait and see.
but I also heard that they're supposed to be actually focusing on CFM this time. Do you think that they really are? And if so, do
No.
you think this
I
would be
can
the?
believe it.
No.
I think it's been a big outcry for it. I think I think they're actually going to get, a good flushed out CFM, but I think this would be the absolutely last time we'll get that.
Yeah, yeah. I believe they're focusing on it, but I believe that after this year, either whatever they add will stay there, and it won't be built upon, or shit, they might just take it out next year and focus fully on Mutt. You just never know.
I don't think they'll take it. I'll be really disappointed if they take it out. But I think that
We've seen it happen.
I don't think that yeah, true, but I don't think they'll focus on it anymore after this run, because so many people have been asking for it for the last 4 or 5 years. They wanted a flushed out CFM, but I think after this is going to be it. I don't think that you're going to see any big time push for CFM. I think they're going to do it, and after this, especially with Rex is going, which we're about to touch on in a second. With Rex is going, I don't think that we're going to see a serious push for simulation. I seriously don't.
And
Not
that right
not
there,
at the pace we want.
and that right there is really gonna hurt Madden in the long run.
Hey,
No matter what they do with franchise, no matter what they do with franchise, no matter what they do with Mutt, that's gonna hurt him the most. The fact they're not gonna care about that.
Yeah,
shit.
so with that being said, I mean, with Rex leaving, how do y'all honestly? I know we made a little mini video about it, but how do y'all really feel about Rex leaving EA Sports, and how you think what direction they will go in as far as the direction of like simulation football?
We can go first.
I mean, just know this. I'll make it short and sweet. The direction is gonna go down. I mean, I felt like that. I felt like at least with Rex, he tried. At least he tried to put out a simulation man game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna fault him for that. But hey, VF, it's like you said before we started this podcast. I mean, like, no matter who they gonna put up there, I mean, like, they just gonna cater to what the people are doing now in Mutt. I mean, like, you're still gonna be seeing money plays. You're still gonna see, more BS going down, right after Madden 19. You're still going to see a lot more of it. You're not going to see a time where you feel like, oh, okay, then yeah, it's something that actually would have happened in real life. Oh shit, this actually happened in the game. You're not going to see as much of that as you normally think you would. I mean, like, really for me, the future of Madden is not looking good. I don't think it's gonna get any better.
Well, what you think, Bills, or you want me to go first?
I'll go. I mean, we've been saying this for the longest time, and it's become more evidently clear in the past week that barring an engine change, it doesn't matter who's in that place. It's going to be the same game. It's going to move the same. It's going to play the same.
And they say the engine change is gonna be Frostbite. I'm like,
but that's
why? I feel like y'all not doing shit with Frostbite.
Well, because the thing was, and they already said it. They said that Frostbite is going to be layered over their old engine, which is the mistake they made right there. When you look at,
I was just about to ask, was they going 100% Frostbite? I didn't know.
Oh, they said it was going to be Frostbite was going to be something added to the engine that they already have in place, which to me is a negative because how can you add Frostbite where you can do so much to an engine that is so it's antiquated. It's a very antiquated system. You can tell in the movement of the players and the results on the field in certain plays that it's maxed out. You can't really do anything else with that system without removing things and putting something else in its place. There's not really anything you can do to completely overhaul your game. And Rex being one of the people that it seemed like was pushing for that new engine, now that he's gone, there won't be any pressure from that department of gameplay developers that will say, look, like, we need a new engine. I just don't think that's somewhere that they're headed. He seemed like he had his finger on the pulse of the community, and he was trying his best to pressure the higher ups, I should say, to, fund this improvement in the game. And now that he's gone, I don't know who else would possibly pressure them to do that. So at this point, we just have to wait and see. But I don't see anything positive coming out of Rex Dixon leaving.
I mean, I'm fearing the worst. I mean, even if they bring somebody in to replace Red, and I know they will. He's going to be somebody's going to come in as a creative director. The route that Rex wanted to go is not what that next person is going to be about. Because if that's the case, why even have differences with Rex?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, why would you do that? So it's like whoever comes in, they're going to pretty much be on a different wavelength. And like we all said before, I know we talked about this on Twitter, or at least I saw it on Twitter, where there are some people saying that the guy from Longshot may be the new creative director. If that's the case, I'm done.
Yeah,
I have nothing to do with the game at that point. Now, I hate to say it, but there's nothing for me. If they're going to go that route and use the guy from Longshot to be the creative director, I have no reason to even play the game. None.
That's the thing. He was an art designer before, so I guess art-wise, yeah, there might be an improvement, but when you look at what his specialty was back then, unless he was pigeonholed into that position, what are we looking at as an upgrade to gameplay? Because Rex having played football and having such a passion for making the best simulation game possible, when you look at this new guy that we don't really know too much about, it's just a major question mark. And when you see him being associated with Longshot, it's an automatic red flag.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So you're looking at, I mean, I'm worried right now. I'm worried for the state of Madden because I want to see a football game flourish, even though it hasn't flourished to my expectations in years. But you would think if they're going to move somebody out, you would think they'll get better. But when they're moving somebody out for somebody that's possibly like this person, not to knock him because he may do great work. A lot of people say Longshot was this great, mode that people played. I didn't play it. I mean, it's not my thing.
It sucked.
I mean, because when I play a football game, I want to play a football game. I don't want to play a story. And, for me, I just didn't get into it. I got into the one on 2K with Spike Lee. I thought that story was pretty cool, but it's just for me with Madden, it just did not pull me in, and it was like I just did not want to play it.
When it comes to nut cutting time, we're gonna see who the guy is that is pushing, getting these patches out to fix any issues that the game comes out with, because that'll be a true indication of are they really focused on putting the best gameplay experience out, or are they just trying to get this game out to the people and focus on MUT? Because nothing seems to ever be wrong with MUT when the game comes out.
Oh, absolutely
Even
not.
the year that CFM was broken, MUT was working just fine.
Just fine.
Let's just keep that in mind.
Yeah, MUT never was broken. Draft Champions wasn't broken, but CFM was broken for months. What was that? What was that? Madden 16 or something like that?
Yep, all the way up to December, almost.
Yeah, it was almost like November, December that CFM actually started working again. By then, even when CFM is working fine, people get rid of Madden by then.
Nobody cared. Yeah, at that point it was like the boy who cried wolf. Nobody cared at that point. It took that long for a patch to come out. If it was MUT, the patch came out the next day.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, they can say it's pure speculation, but I'm sorry, it just seems like MUT is the end all be all with that game and is the base of how they make money from that game. And until we have the backing of the higher ups that actually care about making a simulation game, which they have no reason to, until we have that backing to get a new engine for this game to run on, it will continue to look the same, play the same, feel the same, and that's just how it is. I don't think a Rex Dixon can change that. I don't think anybody can change that. But Rex Dixon leaving is just a further indication and another death knell to our hopes of getting a simulation game out of EA.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the main thing. I think the game will continue to flourish as far as sales because MUT and competition and not other games coming up, like people playing competition against each other. They're them being on TV and they're doing all this other stuff with Madden when they have the Madden tournaments.
They got it made.
I mean, they got it made as far as that goes. So with that being said, why in the hell would they have to worry about an offline mode for the most part?
Right.
Because even with the CFM that's online, why put all that effort into that, which I think they will. I think that if they're going to do anything with CFM, it's going to be an online CFM push. So people can continue to play head-to-head online because the head-to-head thing is another, like I said, with the Madden tournaments, it's a big thing. And people like to play online, I get it. But that Madden Ultimate Team, that's a cash cow for them. They will never break that down for an offline simulation. No, or even not even offline. They will never break that MUT down for a simulation CFM. I don't see that happening.
Well, the issue with that is going to be what happens when this online franchise gets features that the offline franchise doesn't get.
Exactly, or when they can start monetizing franchise mode. That what happens if they can do that?
I think that's what they're headed towards.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to monetize it.
This is all I can tell y'all now for people that's expecting something out of Madden. You better hope, and I'm hoping for this too, you better hope one of these alternative games that we know about now, you better hope they deliver that. Because that's the closest you're going to get to, a good franchise experience. Because you're not going to get it out of Madden game. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get that out of Madden anymore. And that's the sad part about that. I mean, like, this is the kind of shit that y'all telling me now, that's the kind of shit that makes me want to actually turn on my fucking Xbox 360, turn on my Xbox, play a PS2 emulator, and just play this franchise mode right now.
Man, it's the end of an era, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I can honestly say it's possible it's going to be that route. I'm going to give, for me, I'm going to give Madden 19 the benefit of the doubt because I've heard before, even Rex left, they said that they're going to try to push. They said they're going to try to push CFM in Madden 19. So I'm going to give it a good look. But I honestly don't have no faith in Madden after 19. I think CFM. CFM is going to be that one big push. And I said this even before I even knew Rex left. I think they're going to give CFM one big push, and after that, they're going straight monetization with Madden 20 and beyond. Yep. That's how I honestly feel because money pushes these games, and I don't care. Nobody say people want simulation. Everybody want this. I'm sorry, money pushes these companies, and if you're making that much money on MUT and all these draft champions and all these Madden tournaments, if you're making money off that, there's no reason to be worrying about CFM unless they monetize it.
I could easily see this being a test trial this year, and if everybody is satisfied with it, next year we'll have to pay for it.
Oh
And
I said, no, I'm glad you said that, because what if everybody's satisfied with Madden 19 CFM?
then they'll buy 20 and find out they have to pay for it, and people actually
No,
end
no,
up
no,
paying.
no, 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 not even that. What if they are satisfied with Madden 19 CFM? Why even try to improve on it? Just leave it the way it is and focus on the other stuff.
Well, that too, but remember, I mean, you're still looking at, like, okay, I'll give you an example. Titanfall came out without in campaign mode, and nobody really complained about it. I can easily see sports games heading that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, where's the season mode at? Well, we didn't put one in there. Oh, okay.
what 2K8?
Look at me and VF talking about it on Twitter about franchise and things of that nature. People are coming like, y'all still play franchise?
Right.
You would have never thought.
Yeah,
you would have
do.
never. You would have never thought that you would have heard those words back then.
Of course not.
Never.
Of course not. But I mean, nobody.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, online, nobody anticipated online gaming being as big as it is now, even though it was going to eventually grow to be something that was a phenomenon. It wasn't going to be as big as we see it now on sports gaming. I mean, Jesus Christ. The way it is on sports gaming now is crazy. I thought the first-person shooters would pretty much be
Take over.
Yeah. But now sports games are so online based as well. It's just kind of crazy. I mean, even I find myself getting sucked to it every now and again. Playing what's the name of it? Pro-Am. So
at least 2K has a fucking like franchise mode. At least they fucking try.
Oh, yeah,
Like, God damn.
Well, yeah. I mean, 2K just has a different way of doing things than EA does, because I mean we can easily see that.
Exactly.
Seems like they have found that perfect balance to satisfy every member of their community and every member of their fan base.
And yet EA can't do that for the life of us. We will never.
Oh
get
no,
it.
they can, just not.
They just choose not
football.
to.
Yeah, just not with football. They do it with FIFA. They do it with FIFA.
Yeah, that's true.
They do it with NBA Live to a certain extent, but I mean, last year was a big indication of that, adding edit player and things like that. They do it with NHL, so I mean, it's pretty much just Madden. They have this antiquated view of things.
Hey, I mean, I don't know. It's just, to me, there's dire times ahead, unless we know, as of right now, because once we learn something from there, then, once we learn something, for right now, I'm really worried about the state of Madden. I think simulation guys are about to be left out in the cold big time.
Madden
Ain't the first time.
Madden 19, you better enjoy it. Just like I told VF, NBA 2K18, we better enjoy it. Madden 19, you better enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't get rid of it.
Yeah, I agree. So, we're going to jump over to another topic. I know we talked about this, I think we talked about this offline a couple of days. Well, no, we didn't. No, not this topic. I'm sorry. PC gaming. We don't really talk about PC gaming anymore. I know, Pooh, you have a PC. I have a PC. Bills, I've been trying to get Bills on PC, but right now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but with the state of these consoles and the quality of some of these games, you're looking at a God of War, or hell, you even look at some of these fighting games that are out, or these other games, like PC gaming is still relevant, but nobody tries to push it anymore. Pooh, why do you think that's the case?
Well, because of how fun these games are being played on the consoles. I mean, like, let's take a look at what you just said. I mean, God of War. I mean, like, this shit is smashing records. Now, if you think people having a PS4 now, like, that game in of itself definitely gonna make people want to go get a PS4 and just try that game out. It's just, I mean, like, it's just crazy. I mean, that you got Monster Hunter out for anybody that loves those kind of games, that love fighting monsters. You have Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is on PC, but and a lot of people that are getting on consoles, they like it on consoles better. But I mean, if the quality of games coming out, I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure we tried telling people this long ago. I mean, like, you can have the kind of shit to have, that can run your PC. It can be great when it goes to graphical improvements. but it's the fucking gameplay that matters, dog.
I
And
mean, what for
look at
me?
these games.
I
These
mean,
games are great.
not only that. Like when you really look at it, you see where the PS4 and even with the Xbox One, you see how the games, even with the Nintendo Switch, is another console. These games are like taking off, and
Now
people
people want to switch
and a lot.
because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people are really jumping on the accessibility of these consoles. You have these 4K they basically these 4K consoles. I mean, they're not true 4K or whatever it may be, but these are high quality consoles. And you know what people look at first? They look at graphics, and if the game looks great, they want to buy it. And even though the PC does give out those high quality, resolutions, those high resolutions, it's just much easier just to buy a four, in some cases, three, four, $500 consoles and just have that high resolution right there instead of buying and building a PC. Even though for me, like I said, I think it's a really neat tool to have. A PC is another option to game with. But if somebody's, just looking at it and been looking at it for a while and been on the fence about it, I can see somebody like Bill's not like, look, I don't need a PC right now. I have an Xbox One X. I have a PS4 Pro. They're giving me these 4K type experience or near 4K experiences. Why would I need why would I need to build one?
another
Well, see,
thing
I
you
was
have to
gonna, I
factor
was.
in. Another thing
Oh,
you have to
good.
factor. I'm sorry, but yeah, another thing you have to factor in is that VF, you had these problems before with your PC as well, where there's certain times where there's just a thing that'll come up on your PC. You'll just have fucking errors, and you have to try to fix those errors. Meanwhile, you can just get on the fucking console and boom, you can just pop that shit in and you're done.
Well, yeah,
That avoids us from a problem right
but
there.
like I said, you just have to know what you're doing. Some people take their PC and they treat it as if it was a console. Oh, I could just cut it on and everything will be fine. But you're gonna have to do a little bit more maintenance when it comes to PC. It's not a lot. It's just that you have to do a little bit more maintenance, and those little things can turn somebody off really quickly.
Yeah.
You have to understand this is something that you built yourself, so it's not going to be to the quality of what Sony or Microsoft made. So you're going to have little issues here and there, unless if you really don't know what you're doing and your PC's just fucked. But for me, I know what I was doing, and like every now and then I still have my issues with it, but there are times where games just don't want to work. You have to restart your computer. You got to turn this off. You got to turn that off. This browser can't be on, or
Yeah.
this sound. The sound enhancement can't be on, or this project or this program can't be on. And if not, it won't. Some games just won't work. So you have to. Those are the type of things you have to deal with. But like I said, with these consoles in the state that they're in, these newer ones, there's no reason for some people who just was on the fence to actually jump on a PC right now. What you about to say, Bills?
Yeah, I was gonna say to the point you made about accessibility. That's pretty much the main thing for me is accessibility. When you look at the quality of games that are coming out now, until they drop to the point where they're not comparable to the PC, I can't really see myself investing in a gaming PC because like I said, accessibility wise, you just put the disc in, or in my case, download the game and start the game once you start your console, and pretty much you're getting a close to 4K experience. So for some gamers, they can accept that. For me right now, I can accept that, especially when my funds have to go other places at this particular time. I just feel like that's what a lot of other people are looking at, is the accessibility factor of it. It's kind of like, would you rather build your studio piece by piece to make music, or would you rather find something that's a little bit more low end and kind of just deal with the lack of things that you have on there, but at the same time you're still making music and you can just cut it on and there you go.
Right.
So
I agree.
so I think that's what people are really looking at.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I'm really with you on that because I have a PC and I love my PC and I still play games on it. But then again, like I said, sometimes I just turn over here and I want to play Forza 7. And yes,
Hmm.
I could play Forza 7 in 4K 60 on here. And I don't have an Xbox One X. I don't. But
Hmm.
I could still play Forza at 1080p, 60 frames per second and it looks just fine on my 4K TV. I mean, it actually looks really good on it, and so and I don't have to worry about the stupid ass Windows Store. You know what I'm saying? Because the Windows Store on PC is just abysmal. You know,
Just a side note, I would say that the Xbox One X is a really good investment. I had second thoughts about it at first, but after playing Forza Horizon 3 on there, ooh man, that console is that console's special, bro.
yeah, and I know it is, and I'm gonna get one eventually because I just like buying consoles. I mean, y'all already know I have. To this day, my wife says I have too many, but
Every console known to man.
pretty much, you know what I'm saying. So I got plenty, and I'm gonna get one eventually. But
You need to retire.
like right now, what'd you say?
You need to retire your console buying.
Nah, it ain't gonna happen. But anyway,
But yeah, because
Try.
I'm looking at the Xbox One X, bro. They like I told you last week. I might have said it on the podcast last week. They got NBA Live 18 in 4K, which brings a whole new experience. Being in 4K 60 frames,
yeah, and see for me, and
and
I get
PS4
that.
don't even have that.
Like I said, and I get that because for some people, visuals is what matter. For me, it's more like performance. But I will
Well, the
not.
performance with the 60 frames is also a big deal though, because it's not only in 4K resolution, but it's also upgraded to 60 frames
Right,
with that
right, and
on
that's
the
it.
Xbox One. The PS4 doesn't even
Right,
have that.
right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a big guy on performance, but I'm not going to be a blind eye to what 4K looks like. I
Oh,
mean,
of course.
4K is amazing. I play, like I said, I play NBA 2K in 4K on the PS4 Pro, and like there's some times what I would do, I will plug in my PVR. Now my PVR only renders at 1080p, so it dumbs down the resolution. It has to because it can't handle 4K when you're capturing. Obviously it can't. So I end up having to play the game in 4K. I mean, I had to play the game in 1080, and it's just like night and day. It's not even close. You know, and
Right.
luckily, like games like Forza, even though Forza is in 4K, and like I said, I can play it on my PC. The 1080p aspect of Forza on the Xbox, that's just Forza in general. Forza always just put out a very clean looking product. I mean, you can even go back to play Forza 3 or Forza 4 on the Xbox
Right.
360, and even on 360, Forza 4, which personally I think is probably the best Forza ever made, that game still looks beautiful to this day.
Hmm.
And I just wish that, and I know that's not going to happen. I just wish one day they would go back to the Forza 4 model where everything was like the DLC that was on there was like maybe two or three or maybe four cars.
Man, that
But,
that
but
DLC is the only knock on that game.
yeah,
Good God, that
but
DLC is out of control.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was saying with Forza 4, you only had like four or five cars that was DLC, but you earned everything else on Forza 4. You go
Right.
to Forza 5, 6, or 7, I'm like, my God, it's like every damn other car is DLC. It's
No,
like,
it's ridiculous. Like every time you play in the career mode and they go and prompt you to buy a new car, like pretty much the second and the third page to the bottom, all that shit is DLC. And
all
it's
of it's
obviously
DLC.
all the good cars
Yeah,
that you would probably want.
and in some cases, some of those cars were in the old Forza games.
They
It's
were,
like
yeah.
they were in the old Forza games for free. How are these cars are now I have to pay for when it was in the older game? It's
It's like,
ridiculous.
yeah, some of them are separate DLC. Other ones are
Like season
tied
pass.
to a season pass, or like you have to buy a whole new like mode, so to speak. Like a whole, it's like Forza Horizon 3. I actually ended up buying the season pass because I really wanted to try out that Hot Wheels mode.
But see,
But shit like that should be free.
I don't have a problem with how Forza Horizon do it. I don't have much experience with Forza Horizon because I'm a motorsport guy. I like Forza Motorsport, but from what I see, I don't think they're trying to pull stuff from the old game and make you pay for it in the new game.
Oh no,
Like the Hot Wheels stuff, that's new. You know what I'm saying? The Fast
right.
and the Furious stuff they had, that was new. You know what I'm saying? I can deal with that kind of DLC. But when I
Mm-hmm.
gotta go back and I gotta buy a Toyota Supra, a 1998
Fuck
Toyota
that.
Supra that was in Forza 2. I gotta buy
Fuck
that in
that.
Forza 7. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, nah.
I can't live with that. So like I said, forever it'd be Forza 1 and Forza 4. Those two would be my favorite ones because you earned pretty much everything. The original Xbox version, you know how I love the original Xbox. That game was way ahead of its time, and it still looks good to this day. Forza 4 is another one. You didn't have to pay for the DLC. You pretty much earned every car just by playing, and it still looks good. Even on 360, I mean, the game looks very good. So, but...
Oh, I have another topic, just real quick. I know you two aren't soccer heads, but Jesus Christ, PES 19 might be the most gorgeous.
I remember one time they were talking about that they lost like some licensing deals or something.
And now apparently they're adding some back, which you're going to have to wait and see exactly which leagues they add back, because there's certain ones I'm specifically looking for. But damn, no screenshots though?
I saw that, but I saw that game looks beautiful. It really does. I saw those screenshots.
That'll make somebody who doesn't play soccer games.
But then again, like I said, that game is on what? It's on a console.
Who does Forza? I mean, not Forza. Who does
Konami. No, wait.
Konami does PES, yes.
Yeah.
Konami does
Konami does that soccer game?
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got to be fucking kidding.
And they're using the Fox engine for the motion and everything like that, and they're actually apparently they've added to it.
I was just about to ask that, where they're using the Fox engine, because the Fox engine looks beautiful on Metal Gear Solid. And I didn't know, and I said it even before when Metal Gear Solid first came out. I was like, this game looks so good. If Konami makes a football game, they need to use this.
That's why I find it so crazy. It's like, hold up. How Konami make this look good, but they fuck over Metal Gear Solid?
I can totally tell you that. You look at Metal Gear Solid, which is a very beloved franchise in the gaming community, but you're talking about soccer. That is a worldwide sport. You don't fuck with soccer. That's a worldwide sport. That's a sport that people literally beat people up and kill people over. So you know that game is hellified, is popular. That's probably the reason why some of those licensing deals came back.
And the reason why I've been so hard on the game is because PES has always been the superior simulation game up till last year. And they kind of fell off with some of their AI issues that they've had in positioning and things of that nature. But last year's game was gorgeous, and every year they seem to put out a pretty damn good looking game. The licensing coming back, like I said, is going to be interesting, because I know that EA, as early as last year, they still had an exclusive license on one of the major licensing, one of the major leagues, I should say, licenses. So it's going to be interesting, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to PES this year, especially with those screenshots and that gameplay video too. Because
are you sure this is PES 19? Because this shit look like an actual fucking like.
No, that's
it looked like it looked like I'm looking at the real fucking stadium right now.
Dude, it's crazy.
With the daylight and shit. Dude, this shit's crazy, bro.
They had dynamic weather 2 years ago. Madden still doesn't have it. Go figure.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be bringing snow back or something like that too, ain't it?
They brought snow back this year, yep. They have it.
You know, that's funny. Why snow is in the soccer game, something that you rarely see in the soccer game, as far as I know. You don't really see soccer in real life. I mean, snow in soccer in real life, as far as I know. But you see snow all the time in an NFL game, and there you go.
And FIFA, just to get on FIFA for just a quick second, I just want to talk about their weather settings, which are the best probably in all the sports games, because what they have is you could pick straight up rain or you could pick showers. The showers are sporadic. It'll rain, it'll stop. The sun will come out, then it'll get dark again, it'll rain. Then the sun will come out again, it'll rain while the sun is out. Then you have snow and you have flurries. So flurries, it'll snow, it'll stop. Same thing. So Madden needs to add that, and any other outdoor sport really needs to add dynamic weather, because at this point it's a standard. FIFA looked amazing last year, and the way that the ball would be affected by the weather also was interesting, because it could hit a puddle and slow down, and all sorts of stuff. So
yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to take a long look at that, because, you know, like I said on the last episode, I'm moving up in the soccer world.
Yeah,
you know,
worst case scenario, play the demo. They always put a demo out.
Yeah, that is true. You know, I had my FIFA, not FIFA, but PES. PES always does a demo.
I just find it so crazy. Like, yo, am I sure I'm looking at the game or am I looking at an actual fucking stadium right now?
Oh, it looks crazy. Oh, it looks amazing. It looks
That's
amazing.
that's crazy. If the game makes me question
If
it,
they
that's how you
have
know
the
the game.
proper licensing this year to where you, because the thing about Pez that sucks, you have to use a USB to download rosters and uniforms that other people have made, as opposed to on 2K where you just go to the roster share page and you could download it. That's the thing that deters a lot of people. Once again, we talk about accessibility. When you don't have the proper licensing in your game, and then in order for you to use somebody else's roster file, you have to use a USB to export it and import it. That's something that will make people want to just say, fuck, I'll just go play FIFA,
Right.
which is what I did last.
Another thing, just like I said, that is more accessibility.
Yeah. So they need to get that all figured out, and once they get that all figured out, they'll be good. Then, of course, we have another game coming out that VF didn't like, which was Playgrounds. They have their second iteration coming out in a couple weeks here.
I don't care about that game.
I want NBA Street, damn it.
That game, the first one was trash, bro. I'm sorry.
I want NBA Street.
That game, I want Street, or I'll just continue to play the old NBA jams, yo. That game is trash, yo. I can't.
At this point,
Man, this Playground's gonna be lit, man. Last Playground sucked. They didn't even have left-handed players. But you know what, man? This one's gonna be lit, yo.
They better have a demo, but other than that, I'm not buying it. I bought the Playgrounds, yo. That game's horrible.
Oh, and also
The main thing about that game was basically, why are you having the time jump shots and layups, and you had the time dunks too? What are we doing?
Right.
Y'all not NBA Street home court. No, I'm playing.
Nah, NBA Street Volume 2. That's all I need.
Volume 2.
Volume 2 is all I need. NBA Street Volume 2. The PS3, Xbox 360 NBA Jam. I like that one. The original NBA Jam on Super Nintendo. No, NBA Jam Tournament Edition on Saturn, or any of those.
If they can retain the licensing for NBA Street Volume 2, which would involve Jordan, which would be a little hairy. I don't know what that situation is.
Yeah, because he's a totally different monster outside of the other NBA players.
Because if they could retain the licensing and just remaster that game, that would be amazing.
That shit, dude. I'm
the
sorry.
way I look at it,
that would be the best first game to come out. That would be game of the year.
I'll put it like this: the fact that they have historic teams, historic players on these newer games, I don't see why the license would be an issue.
Bro, that would be game of the year.
Because you got to think about it. You look at Madden, even with Madden Ultimate Team, they have to go out of their way to get those licenses for those players for the most part. With the NBA, from what I've noticed, it's much easier to get those older players.
Maybe 2K just needs to make one based on all those classic teams they have.
Probably do.
Shit, Reggie Miller, I'm sure got a stranglehold on how much money he's asking for.
Him and Barkley act like that.
And Barkley too.
Terrell Owens said no to Madden, so that says enough.
Oh shit! I mean,
he been said no to Madden.
And I understand why Terrell is personified as the guy that's on possibly the greatest football game of all time.
Not only that, but also 2K. It's the 2K. Madden sent out that tweet telling them, they said some shit to T.O. that he was not happy with. So
I forgot what it was, but I remember it was something.
It was an insult directed towards T.O.
But then you look at All Pro 2K8 not having Jim Brown. A lot of these guys have strangleholds.
Yeah. Jim Brown was not on it. Deion Sanders. And the thing about it, they wanted Deion Sanders in the game so bad. They have his animations in the game. They just don't have him.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders' animations are in All Pro Football 2K8. It's just not. He's not in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his back pedal, his run, his squats, the way he intercepts it. Most of the time when you see some of those interceptions, that's prime time stuff. You know, they just don't have him in the game.
Another crazy thing is they still have Jamal Anderson's the Dirty Bird dance from the Atlanta Falcons. He's
Yeah,
not in
they,
the game
they
either.
still got him.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, All Pro Football 2K8, you really think he would have been a legend?
No. Well,
He couldn't even be in the third.
no,
No.
not really. But I don't know why they have his name.
Okay, well, look, if they had Dave Meggett as a bronze, they probably could have put Jamal Anderson.
Yeah, as a
Yeah,
bronze. He wasn't all that fucking
that's
special.
true.
Christian McCoy was a bronze, which I was kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. Probably should have been a silver.
That's what I'm saying. He's arguably a silver.
Yeah, I guess you're right about
Then
that.
there's other guys that could have been a gold.
I mean,
Dog,
yeah,
Randall
'cause he
Cunningham was a silver. What the fuck?
No,
I
well,
could
hold on,
agree
man.
with
Hold
that.
on, man.
I
Hold
could-
on,
I
man.
was saying with that.
Hold on, man. Randall was the truth now. You tripping now.
Randall was
they
the truth, but a silver's right where he belongs.
No, I
no,
agree. I
man.
agree. That's what I'm saying. I'm with
He
you.
wasn't a gold, bro.
No, he was not a gold. No. Silver's
No.
fine. Silver's fine where he's at.
Bro, no.
No.
I mean, even that's a topic we could talk about if we wanted to look at people who were silvers on that game as opposed to golds.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. I don't mind actually having that discussion.
But
right?
that's a pretty good discussion to have. But for the most part, I can say that I think they got him right for the most part. You probably about, for me, maybe about 95, 97%.
Oh, another guy they were missing was Michael Irvin.
Yeah, they did miss Michael Irvin.
They did not have Michael Irvin. I agree with that. They
So
should
yeah, there are a couple people that were missing. A couple people.
Yeah.
But how about certain tight ends though? I feel like there were a severe lack of tight ends. Maybe,
Was
like,
Shannon
maybe
Sharp
just
on
me.
that? Shannon Sharp was on there, right?
Shannon Sharp was a gold, but like
Shannon was
outside
on
of
there,
that,
Sterling.
he was but like outside
Sterling
of that, like, he was
wasn't
the
on
one gold that you would pick at all times.
Sterling wasn't on there. Mike Dick, Mike Dick.
Mike
They
Dick was on
did
there.
have kind of a shortage. They had Mackey. Mackey was a silver though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Damn, he should have been a gold.
there's only like one 6'5" tight end.
Kellen Winslow Sr. was he on there?
No,
Kellen Winslow was not on there. Shannon. They say Shannon wasn't on there.
no, Shannon is on there.
Yeah, he is.
Hold on. Let me look.
I was just checking when I was making a team. Like I was making another team. I
Oh,
said,
yeah, he's on there.
yeah, he on there. There's only two fucking.
I'm
gold
actually
tight-
surprised
tight
that
ends.
Shannon's on there. I didn't know.
A lack of defensive tackles, maybe too, because there wasn't that many defensive tackles. Like I'm telling you this, if you was to make APF
Wait,
right
shit,
now,
maybe he ain't on there.
I don't think he's on. I'm serious. I don't think he's on there. Seriously.
Shannon Sharp is in the game.
Bro, I'm looking right now. I was talking about some of the people that ain't on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Shannon Sharp is in the game.
Dude, I don't remember him being on there now that I think about it.
I don't think he's. I'm looking right now. I'm gonna look again.
Okay.
Dude, he was literally the only gold tight end Will Route got.
I'm looking at the Legends list.
No one
right
else
now.
has that.
Okay, see, that's the thing. I remember him being on there too.
Nobody else has.
I think some of these articles were before they came out, before the game came out, I guess.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking. I'm gonna go to Wikipedia, even though that's not credible.
I'm pretty sure he's on there.
No, it's
You
not.
want me to send a screenshot?
Yeah, if you send a screen, I mean, I have the game. Me personally, I always created my team, so I never really looked at who's on what. What team is he on?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, I'm saying, what team is he on?
Man, this game was so good, man.
Where the hell did he go? His lying ass.
I think he's probably going to send a screenshot.
Did you ask what team is he on?
Yeah, what team is he on?
You should be on the Rollers.
All right, I'm looking at the Legends list right now.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Since I still got the APF editor, hold on. I don't even got to turn on the game.
I'm looking at the S's of everybody who's the people. All right, they got Dan Salamalu. I think that's how to say that. Barry Sanders, Ricky Sanders, Jesse Sapalu, Gail Sayers, Joe
Why the hell
Schmidt,
isn't the game activating?
Leroy Selman, Clyde Simmons, O.J.
He's a
Simpson.
monster.
They got O.J. Simpson, Billy Sims, Mike Singletary, Emmett Smith, Jackie Smith, Matt Snell,
Dude, see, I remember Shannon Sharp because...
Chris Spielman, Bob St. Clair, Kenny Stabler, Bart Starr, Roger Staubach, Dwight Stevenson, Corey Stringer, Scott Studwell, and that's all the S's. He's not in the game.
But see, I remember Sharp being there during one of the the pregame, like with the coin toss, and he would be there with his helmet on. I don't know why. I think he's on the
I
game,
thought he
bro.
was in the game too, but I'm
I
looking.
don't know. I
Yo,
probably have to
he's
fire it
in
up
the
one day,
game,
man. Either
dog.
way, Sterling should be in the game.
Yeah, both of them
Yeah,
should be.
Sterling should be in
Him
the
and
game.
him and both of them should be in the game. But like I said, I'm looking. I just went down the whole list. I don't see him on the game.
And they made it. And they made the game a bit too early for Tony Gonzalez to be on there. But damn, if they made
Yeah,
another one, he would have to be on.
yeah. That'd have
Also,
been no doubt about that.
He'd have
man.
to. Oh God, I could picture him being one of them dudes that are just unguardable in that game too.
Okay.
Tony G.
Gee, yo, hell yeah. You
Okay,
serious?
all right. I'm looking at another list.
Been
It
talking right
says
about now.
I'm looking at another list. All the gold tier tight ends: Mike Dicker, John Mackey, Jackie Smith, David Casper, and Shannon Sharp.
Thank you.
See, he is on it. I'm surprised Dave Casper's gold.
Yeah, that was a gold one. I didn't know he was in the game because that was 2008. When did he retire? 2003. That sounds about right.
Yeah, probably at least around 2002, 2003.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Another person they put on would be LaDainian Tomlinson too.
Oh god.
Yeah, that would have been another
They
one.
put on there. But yeah, I mean, damn, yo, it sucks they didn't make another one because
LT Randy Moss.
Could have
T.O.
been.
could have been on there.
yo, I created Randy Moss every time I downloaded that game.
Nah, I remember. See, that was 2007. Them guys were still in the league at the time.
They were still playing.
Well,
yeah, that was the problem.
yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
so they wouldn't have. I mean, if you're looking at a new game, absolutely. But nah, at the
They had
time,
my boy Lance Allworth on there, did they?
no, I don't think he's on the game.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite receivers, man, from the AFL days.
What was another topic that we was going to discuss? I can't remember. We just went off on APF.
We were gonna talk about.
I don't remember also.
Oh.
I feel like that's going all top one.
I don't even remember, man. This is a pretty good topic. Now I'm thinking.
No, I mean, we jumped
anyway.
from one to one. It's just like we don't know. I mean, we talked about gaming, we talked about Madden and where that's going. I'm not even following live in 2K, but I do want to give a shout out to some people who have, well, one person in particular who have become an EA game changer. Honestly, I think he deserves it after all this time. I don't know if y'all know. Y'all do know Prime 76 is now a game changer, right?
Whoa, for real?
Yeah.
Dang,
Wow.
congrats.
Yeah, he's
Congrats.
a game changer for NBA Live right now, and I've talked to him for years. I mean, we've had back and forths, and we've talked, we argued about Live, and I know I felt I felt I was right most of the time because Live was trash at the time, but this guy rolled for Live for pretty much for a long time. And you know, for him to become a game changer, I mean, I don't put too much value into being a game changer anymore based on what I know now, but I think he deserves it because of the work he's put in, and I just want to say congratulations to him. You know, I know that's something that he wanted, and I think for both parties, EA and for Prime, I think it'll work out great for them as far as how that goes. Yeah. I mean, he's like, even though I have my issues with the Game Changer program and how I personally feel about it, if anybody that should be a game changer, he's one of the guys that should get it. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. For all the times that he's done videos and praise NBA Live and all the stuff like that. I mean, sometimes I felt that he was a corporate slave, but I mean, I'm just, you know, not to knock him. I just got to be honest how I felt about it, you know. But he deserves, he at least he deserves a chance of becoming one, and he is one. And I'm actually, you know, kudos to him, you know.
I'll do a shout out to Sim. Sim's been keeping it real on his videos about Madden, and it's much appreciated because I know a lot of people criticize him about not making the videos that he sends to the devs public. So having that criticism out there on Madden 18, speaking on a lot of things that are true, is definitely a good thing. So shout out to Sim for those videos.
But I think a lot of things are shifting because Rex left, man. You know,
no, of course.
You know, and I understand that. I'm telling you that was a big one when he's not with EA anymore. That's a big one. You know, a lot of people want to, happy that Rex is gone, but you got to understand. I mean,
Shit, you'll never know what you got till it's gone.
yeah, I mean, even though you may feel that the game was this, that, and the third, it's like, who you think gonna come in to replace him to do better?
Rex got it to that point that we're at for us to even be talking about these are the last 2 or 3 things that are left to be ironed out. I mean, before that it was 5, 6, 7, 8, things that you could say like Madden's seriously lacking.
Right.
So
Yeah, but now, man, shit.
damn,
I mean, damn. Good luck. Good luck with next football game. Y'all might want to save y'all money.
shout out to Clint, bro. We gonna need you.
Shit, he might be leaving alone with Rex.
Shit, I won't be surprised.
It wouldn't stun me at this point.
Couldn't blame him.
Like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm done with y'all.
Yo, we might be looking at Smitty on the dev team, yo.
Oh my god. We might be looking at Smitty and Moody on the dev team.
Shit. And Waikia needs to be on the dev team, bro. If we're being real. Like, real, all the way real.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how he
and Waikia is probably top 3 football minds in the community. Shout out to NYKia.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, once Rex left, they're not going to want somebody to have anything to do with what Rex wanted.
Bro, Madden is about to turn into NFL Blitz real quick.
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Except with more bullshit.
Nah, I don't think it's going to be that bad, but...
Yeah, or...
I don't think it's going to be flushed out. I don't think the franchise, like VF said, is going to be fleshed out and built upon the way we want it to year. I think whatever they've been working on for franchise this year we'll get, and after that, hope for the best.
No, like I said, man, this 1 year is gonna be the one. After that, it's over with. That's how I feel. Honestly, I feel like it's over with.
I ain't hoping for no best, man. I'ma just play these good games that I feel like is worth my fucking money. Fuck out of here, boy.
That's interesting. So, with that you said that with Access Football coming away today, I think we touched on this earlier.
Yeah.
What price point do you think Access should be?
30.
Think it should be a $30 game?
30. Telling you, mean like, there's no harm in that. I mean,
it's been $19.99 for the past few years. I'll say stick it at $19.99. But if they do go up in price, they can't go no higher than 30. I can agree with that. What about you, Bills? How you feel about that?
No, 20 is a safe spot because it'll make the gamers who have played it and supported it feel good about it, and I think that anybody who's willing to try it on consoles deserves that price point. And it's a pretty safe price point when you're just introducing yourself to consoles.
I mean, $19.99 is always a good price point for games.
Hell, I mean, Limbo is one of the best games out there, and it's around $20.
Yeah.
What is?
It's a game called Limbo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Look it up.
Okay. Hold up. Limbo? That's what it's called?
That's called Limbo, yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. That's another pretty good game. So, that's good. I think that's gonna be pretty good for that.
Are you talking about this puzzle platforming game that I'm looking at right here?
Yeah, essentially. That's what it is.
Got 9 out of 10 on Steam. That's very, very good.
Bro, the game's amazing. That and Inside, which was a sequel.
Dang, yo, I think I've seen this game before.
Amazing. It's amazing, yeah.
I need to try it because I know you've been talking about it for a while now.
Bro, it is so good.
You know another good game that just came out that's on PS Plus? That that Trackmaster, that Turbo Track Mania game.
Oh, okay.
That game is actually pretty good too. I'm playing it and it's a nice little it's a nice little racer, man. It's pretty good. And it's free, so I will say why not, you know?
Yeah, I've been playing Forza Horizon 3 so much. Game is addicting, yo. From the graphics to the gameplay.
My god. I'm looking at the game now. I'm seeing a lot of fucking two-wheelers.
Forza Horizon 3 is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think they're coming out with another one this year, so who knows what they're
Yeah, I
gonna
think
do?
this year is gonna be another. I think Forza Horizon 4 should be coming out.
Because that one was centered in Australia, which was a pretty good environment to drive around and kind of, it was cool for what it was, but
They got a new.
um,
I'm sitting here looking at Oh, okay. And I'm looking at something on the PlayStation Network in Japan. They got another Monster Hunter coming out, I think.
What? No, no way.
That's what it looks
Another
like.
one already?
Well,
It
they
better be
get,
DLC.
they always get stuff before us. So
It better be DLC. Fuck that. It better be another full game.
I'm not sure. I can't read it, and I tried to translate it. It didn't do a good translation.
Send me the link.
Hold on. Well, they got a Chun-Li costume for Monster Hunter World.
Bro, what? Man, the Sakura one just came out.
Yeah, they got one for Chun-Li out in Japan right now.
Yo, Bills, please tell me you play that.
mm-mm.
Oh, God, you're missing out. Take it from me. Take it from me. Take it from me. It's my first time playing it too, and I'm fucking falling in love with it.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting on it. I just haven't bought it yet, but I want to get on it. All right, check that out.
Yeah.
See if you can see that. See if you can see that.
I got it.
It might be in Japanese, but you obviously can see what it is. Any other kind of topics that you want us to touch on? I mean, we're about an hour and a half in. I mean, I think we did pretty good.
I mean, I don't know. Do you want to touch on that topic I brought up before? I mean, I guess it's a decent discussion piece for about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
we haven't touched anything on that that side of sports anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can go ahead and bring it up and talk about it.
Sure. No
So basically, before what I brought up to VF was I thought a decent topic since we really didn't have any topics planned for tonight.
Hold on, real quick, Bills. What you think about that? Pooh, did you see it?
What? Yeah. So it's pretty. Yo, I can't wait for that too. I mean, like we already got the soccer request. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's
can't wait for
pretty
that
dope.
Chun-Li.
All right, now go ahead, Bills. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, but so basically, this topic I brought up to VF was concerning just like a discussion piece about top 5 players at certain positions in the NBA in history. When you look at that, it's a much more interesting debate than who's the greatest of all time or even who's the greatest of all time in each position, because you have a lot of players that'll get brought up that may be different from different sides, and people look at different things as far as what they consider great and who should be in their top 5 and things of that nature. So, I mean, it's up to y'all which position y'all want to start at, and it doesn't even have to be in a certain order. Just like we could just throw names out and go from there.
I want to start at point guard.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, like for you in this case, yeah, point guard.
No, you start.
Here we go, bro. You can't just pick a position and be like, "All right, Bills, have at it." Like,
Right.
no, like like, nah, bro.
All right, well, VF, you go ahead because you know I'm not that much.
Since you put it out there,
names, man.
Yeah, since you put it out there, go ahead.
If you're gonna come to this podcast, bro, you're gonna contribute to every topic, yo.
Yeah, you gotta.
Oh, y'all can kiss my ass, man.
Man. Good.
Okay, alright. I wouldn't necessarily say like, well, okay. I'll have to go with Isaiah Thomas.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
It's just me. Isaiah Thomas one. Let's see who else. John Stockton.
I hated him. Go ahead.
Yeah, John Stockton. Allen Iverson.
He was a shooting guard.
Nope. Yeah, but well,
Who you said?
I don't know. I mean,
Man,
like,
you from Philly? You said Allen Iverson. Get it together.
I mean, like, it's arguable that you could say point guard or shooting guard on AI. He played.
Bruh,
Damn it,
There's a name that you haven't mentioned yet that it's starting to worry me.
Gary Payton. I know.
Oh, Jesus Christ, VF, bro,
What?
help this man out.
I'm
Please.
not helping. He's fired. He don't need to do any more top 5s. I guess it's just me and you, man.
So there was a dude that played in LA. I don't know. You might have heard of him.
Oh,
Magic Johnson. I don't know.
Johnson?
Might ring a bell.
He definitely came to mind. Don't get me wrong. He definitely.
Oscar Robertson, maybe.
Him too. You're right.
Man, he didn't come to mind. You talking about Gary Payton? No knock against Gary Payton.
All right, let me
Go ahead.
let me give you my top five point guards because
Go ahead.
he's lost. I mean, obviously you got Magic, you
I don't
got
watch basketball.
you got
Oh God,
obviously you
Magic.
got Magic.
Uh huh.
You have Isaiah. Yeah,
Hmm.
I know you don't like him, but I like John Stockton. John Stockton, I
I
always
don't
like.
have an issue with him. That was a bit tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
He's eh.
I like John Stockton. Let me give you two more
Hmm.
because the point guards. Not that I don't follow them. I just don't. It's hard for me to put someone in my top five. But Magic. Like I said, Isaiah, and you got John Stockton. You could put Oscar Robertson in there. That could be another
Hmm.
one. And one that a lot of people don't really give. Uh, a lot of people don't really give credence to or really talk about as much. And I actually like Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson was a nice one too. That's one. That's
That
probably
dude
one.
could ball his ass off.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, to me, if I give top five, I give those. And you still have your Steve Nashes. You have Pistol Pete Maravich. You have your
Hmm.
other point guards that are out there that were really good. But that's just those are the top five that I like. What about you?
See, I can't really go in order, but I mean, my list right now, I got Magic, I got J Kidd actually,
Yeah,
because
Jason
that
Kidd's another one. He's another
man,
exactly. That's
as
another
far as
one.
running point guard, that dude was a magician. You got Isaiah Thomas. I mean, he's pretty much the only point guard to win without a legitimate center or any other player at his, on his starting five other than Joe Dumars. Oscar Robertson obviously was a monster. First played to average a triple double. He did it pretty much 2 years in a row. He had 9 rebounds, I think, in the second year, but who cares? It's pretty much triple double. And the last one, I'm picking the greatest point guard defender of all time, in my opinion, which is Walt Clyde Frazier.
Clyde Frazier
Um,
was nice. He
he
was. He
plays
was.
so well in big games. I could easily put Steph Curry up there based on his resume. Even already, his resume trumps pretty much any of these other point guards. If you're talking about team success and individual success, he's probably the only one with 2 MVPs other than Magic. So, I mean, it's pretty interesting. You got your John Stocktons, you got your, not so much Steve Nash, but John Stockton and Pete Maravich. You got those. So, but I mean, I think I'm pretty safe with Walt Clyde Frazier at the fifth position because he was just a monster. But yeah, I guess
All
we can
right.
go in order.
No. We can go to the shooting guard, and I'm gonna let Pooh try again. You think
Oh boy,
Oh my
you
god,
wanna
DM,
try
you're
this again?
killing me. You're killing me. No, not really.
what's next? You gonna leave Michael Jordan out of the fucking?
I mean, oh, so that's how it is, huh?
I mean, look, man. That first go around wasn't too promising.
Well, honestly, I'd rather let y'all take it. I mean, y'all know more basketball than me. Y'all know more basketball than me.
All right, BF. What you got, man? What you got?
Jesus Christ!
I
All
don't
right.
want to tarnish the list.
All right,
I don't,
shooting guards.
Unless you want me to start,
No,
I
I
can
can
go.
go ahead. My top
Okay.
five shooting guards. What? There's not in particular order. Love Allen Iverson. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great
Okay.
shooting guard. Michael Jordan. That's my favorite player of all time.
Yep.
Vince Carter. That's another one. I love
Mm-hmm.
me some Vince Carter. Um, I would say Grant Hill, but Grant Hill wasn't a shooting guard, was he? He was a small
Yeah,
forward.
he was a small forward.
Right. Tracy McGrady.
Mm-hmm.
He started out as a small
Started out
forward.
as a shooting guard.
No, he started out as a small
On the
forward.
Magic, he was a shooting guard.
Yeah, that was him, but he started as a small forward when he was with the
Mm-hmm.
Raptors.
Yep.
But Tracy McGrady, and if I get a fifth one, definitely Kobe Bryant.
Okay. Okay. So for me, I obviously MJ. Dwayne Wade's my second favorite player of all time, and I think if you look at his resume, the only dude with 200 steals and 100 blocks at the shooting guard position, other than Michael Jordan, so you got to put him up there. Kobe, George Gervin was a monster, and my fifth, it's tough. It's tough, man. It's really tough. I mean, you could put AI. You could put AI. AI is a safe choice. I'll take AI. I'll take AI. I thought about Joe Dumars
No,
just because defensively.
I like Joe. I like Joe, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean he's top 10. You know,
Yeah,
for some reason I was drawing a blank on shooting guards. Honestly, I don't know why,
I mean
but I was drawing a bit of a blank.
it's kind of hard, especially after the ones I named. It's like,
Shit, Ray Allen,
man,
gotta
That's
put him
hard.
up there.
pre or post Boston.
I mean, the totality of his career.
Pre Boston, I got you, but post
But I'm
Boston,
saying the totality of his career. If you look at what he's done, he
I
has
get,
two rings, right?
I
Three
could
rings.
I could give
Two
you
rings.
that, but it's like to me, once he got to Boston, I didn't see him as a shooting guard no more. I just saw him as a 3-point specialist. But
True.
when he was in Milwaukee, that dude was up there with the Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and the Tracy McGrady's. I mean, he was dunking on
What
dudes.
about the one-handed bandit, Clyde Drexler? Couldn't dribble with his left hand, but who could stop him, right?
I could be up there. I mean, if he's going to be your pick, but I mean,
Nah, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. Small forwards. This should be easy. Should be easy. I'll start off out.
yeah, you can go first on that.
So I mean, you got LeBron. You
Okay.
got Larry Bird, who actually was drafted as a forward. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Um, Dr. J.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with one that might ruffle some feathers. Kevin Durant. The man
Okay.
has 4 scoring titles and a ring. I'm sorry, bro. You gotta respect it.
And you know what? A lot of people knock Durant for going to the Golden State Warriors, and I get it.
Right.
But
still mad at him for doing
yeah, people will still be mad at him. But one thing I will say, and I could take this over. People may look at this differently, but I can give him a knock. I can give LeBron a knock on this. When LeBron
Mhm.
went to Miami, LeBron
Mhm.
had to learn. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that it's a knock on LeBron. That's just the process that he had to go through. He had to learn to
Yeah.
be the man. Even though he dragged those teams in Cleveland, he had to
Mhm.
learn to take the teams over the top. That's why him and D Wade are so close.
Yeah.
Durant went to a 7-3-9 team to try to win a championship. But the thing about Durant, I will give a knock. Now I won't knock him for. He took over that team to win that championship.
Oh yeah.
He didn't go there to piggyback. And I mean, people could look at it differently and say, "Well, he did go there anyway," and I get it. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's cool. I'm not saying that it should be, applauded. But when he went to Golden State, he took over that team. He took over that team in the finals.
Well, see, that point you just made brings me to my 5th, which a lot of people might disagree with. But when you look at it, his team's success and his success didn't actually go hand in hand, because ignoring the championships, when you look at John Havlicek, he retired in the top 10 in every statistical category
Yeah, right.
in the history of basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's ignoring the rings. We already know he has, 6 or 7. Ignoring the rings, the man retired top 10 in every... This is the stuff we're praising LeBron James for, and rightfully
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So
and-
you have to respect it with John Havlicek.
right, and like I said, there's no knock on LeBron. Did you do your 5 yet? Because I mean,
Yeah, that's it. LeBron, Larry Bird, Dr. J, KD, and Havlicek.
Okay. I didn't know if he was number 5. I was.
I'm gonna make it fun.
Like
Just
I
keep
said,
it.
people could
Spade
not.
names.
Like I said, people could knock Durant for what he did, but there was no piggybacking with Durant. Durant went there, and even though people could say, Steph Curry was, the leader of that team, or Draymond Green was the vocal leader of that team, KD went in there and just straight up balled. I think he averaged like 30, 35 a game. Yeah, it's like he went there to ball. He didn't go there just to say, "Oh man, I'm here for the chip." He wanted to win, and I give him props for that. Now, do I agree with him going there? Once again, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do respect the fact he didn't go there just to say, "I'm going to be here to win the ring. I'm going to try to win the ring." And I give him props for that. Now, for shooting forwards or small forwards, I give him one of my top 5. Obviously, LeBron James is another one. Like we can go back. We talk about Grant Hill. I love Grant Hill, and what I like about Grant Hill is that he didn't let that injury stop him from being a very serviceable player. Because even after he went down over and over again with Tracy McGrady and the Magic, and I was like,
Got
God.
the Phoenix.
And I was like, God, you think about it. 2001 to 2004, those guys, even though Shaq and them were doing good, and I'm not taking nothing away from Shaquille O'Neal and them in the Lakers, if that team would have stayed intact with Grant Hill and the rest of the pieces, Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, John Amici at the center,
And remember,
and you had on what's his name, Darryl Armstrong at the point, they could have
but
gave
remember Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan
was gonna be
he was
traded
supposed,
there.
yeah, he was supposed to, he was
Or
supposed
was
to be
gonna
traded
sign there, actually.
Yeah, he was going to sign there too. They were trying to go for Tim Duncan, and they tried to go for Chris Webber at one point. But even with that team the way it was without them two, they could have gave the Lakers a good run.
Oh yeah.
If Grant Hill was healthy, you got to think about it.
What?
Kobe versus Tracy, and you talking about Tracy back in 02-03. This dude was averaging 33 a game. He was no joke.
Yeah,
And
before
then
that dude turned into a fraud, he was a
right.
monster on the
Then
Magic.
he was a monster on the Magic. Yeah, I agree. Then you had Grant Hill, and he was healthy. You would have brought down Detroit Pistons, Grant Hill, down there with that team. And you already had you had about 3 or 4 big men that could be down there with Shaq at time, Bo Outlaw and all of them. I'm not saying that the team would have beat the Lakers, but they could have been very comparable to them with the team that they had. But even after that,
Do you think it
Hill-
would have went to 7? Let's say like
possibly.
Like,
I think they could have pushed them to 7. At least one of those years, they could have pushed them to 7 because you got to think about it. The team that I don't think that team was that good. I ain't gonna say that good. I think that team was. I think the Magic with Grant Hill was better than the Sacramento Kings. The Kings pushed the Lakers a few times. Now, if you had the Magic with that team, it's a possibility it would have pushed them to 7. Absolutely.
People are still mad about that series.
Yeah, we know how that goes. But like I said, we had Tracy McGrady. I had LeBron James, Grant Hill. I could put Larry Bird as a number 4 as my top 4 in the top 4.
So you said KD, right?
Yeah, and KD, that's 5 easily. Did I say Tracy McGrady? No,
Yeah.
no, because he's my shooting guard. So I know I had another one. So I'll say KD, Grant Hill.
Wait a minute, just to access. I hate to interrupt, but didn't like Vince or Tracy, like one of them had to play small forward at some point? Because
Vince played small forward when he got to the Nets, but the whole time he was on the Raptors, he played shooting guard.
Then who played small forward?
No,
Tracy McGrady did, but he came off the bench.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the thing was their initial position is shooting guard.
Yeah.
Like I said KD, Grant Hill. I said somebody, LeBron James.
Yep. Larry Bird.
Larry Bird. I need one more. Dang, I got it.
Shoot, what did you say?
I didn't say 5. I know I didn't. That's why I stopped.
I got one more left. I'll tell you who was a monster and doesn't get any credit. Bernard King.
Bernard King was nice. He
That
was.
dude was terror on the court, man.
James
Worthy?
I hate this. I guess I could say Scottie Pippen.
James Worthy?
I put Pippen away. I like Worthy now. Don't get me wrong. I'll give Scottie Pippen the nod.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Power forward. Already got mine typed out here.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
One of these people moved into the top 5 like 2 or 3 years ago. So I got Duncan, KG, Malone, Barkley, and Dirk.
Okay, and I'll get KD, Duncan, Malone. Yeah, Barkley. Yeah,
Barkley gotta be, man.
Yeah. I was gonna exclude Malone or Barkley, but you right on that.
And the 5th one, Dirk is one that's debatable, but you can go Bob McAdoo.
Nah, Dirk. Yeah, Bob McAdoo is nice, but Dirk's that guy though.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Dirk. I mean, even at 40, dude was still like balling.
30K points too.
Yeah, exactly. He's that guy. And if you want to give an honorable mention, I'd give Sean Kemp.
Oh my God, he was motivated.
Sean Kemp was nice. Another one. Oh God, he played for the Blazers.
Jerome Kersey?
No, Sabonis.
Oh,
he
was a center though.
Yeah, was he center? No, I thought he was power forward. Was he center?
Nah, Sabonis was a center because Rasheed Wallace played the forward.
Let me look that up.
Look it up.
Let me look that up. I thought he was a power forward, man.
Nah, she was the
power
power
played
forward.
Power forward.
Yeah.
From what
Yeah.
I remember, she was playing power forward.
Yeah, he was yeah, you're right, 7'3" and 292. Yeah, Rasheed was the power forward, you're right.
Yeah. So Sheed was pretty good too.
Wait a minute, who was 7'3"?
Arvidas
Arvidas
Sabonis,
Sabonis.
man. Before that dude's knees
Of course,
went,
he's gonna be a center.
before that
That
dude's
dude
knees
was
went,
nice,
he
yo.
was a
Yeah,
monster.
he was nice. He was nice before his knees went out on him.
Jesus Christ, that dude was good.
I don't think his son will ever be as good as he was, yo.
Nah, he's good, but he'll never be as good as Arvidas.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I hope
So
he
then
keeps
centers, this is where it gets kind of interesting.
You're gonna have to say
Dang, man,
Shaq.
what you think
So
about it,
I'm
though?
not even typing mine out though.
You're
Wait,
gonna
wait.
have to say Shaq.
I'm just gonna go off the top of the head.
Hold on.
Kareem,
Okay,
Bill
Yeah.
Russell,
okay,
Wilt,
Yep.
okay,
Shaq,
okay.
and then my fifth one would probably have to be
Oh, I got it. Me.
Sorry.
His
Oh.
fifth is Dwight Howard. No, I'm playing.
Oh,
God.
Nah, see, he jumped the gun on that. I was gonna go one further and give you. I was gonna go one
joking.
further. I was gonna go one further and give you Andrew Bynum, yo.
Oh hell no! Put John Concack on there for that.
So you pretty
I mean, there's so many. You got Ewing. You got.
Matumbo over Ewing all day, or Akeem Olajuwon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't got
Akeem got to be in the top.
Yeah, I was
So,
about
yeah.
to say.
Yeah,
I
Akeem
ain't got nothing against Patrick, man, but man, nah, I like Patrick Ewing a lot, but your top five is basically my top five. Wilt, Russell, Kareem, Shaq, and Akeem. I mean, you can't get no better than those five.
Yeah.
I mean, people want to talk about George Mikan, but I mean, nah, George Mikan's like the first big guy. That's it. It's not like
Yeah, George Mikan is a tough one because you can't really gauge how he would adjust to the league. He would have been a small forward or a shooting guard, arguably, in that era anyway.
I mean, not even just adjusting to the league. It's just that you're the only guy that was that tall. You know, same thing with Wilt Chamberlain. Like he was the only guy that tall, but I mean, he was athletically gifted. It wasn't just he was a tall basketball player. There were other things that Wilt Chamberlain did that was on the athletic level.
Well, and also by the time you got to 65, 66, that's when the league started catching up size-wise, and he was still putting up, 35 and 20.
Right.
So, that dude was just a special breed. But, thank you, Pooh, for your minimal contributions to this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, he really had a compelling top five.
I mean, shit, the one that he did,
Sorry. Sorry.
Okay, Pooh.
Now,
All right,
this is football. It'd be a different
topic,
one.
just to see if you can save face just a little bit. We can throw out some of the greatest teams that we've ever seen play.
He's too young. He doesn't know.
Well, that he's ever seen. That's why I said that he's ever seen.
Well, everything's gonna be pre-2005. Everything gonna be after 2005. I meant.
Oh Jesus.
I
Well,
mean-
let's just see what comes of it.
No, I mean, like, you won't know till you try. Honestly, I mean, you would have. God, Jesus, they were so goddamn crazy to where you see it every time on ESPN Classics. I think it was the 96 Bulls, some shit like that. That Bulls team.
That team was
won that
really
much.
that team was really good, and a lot of people don't really recognize how good that team was. I'm not just talking about a 72-10 record. I'm just talking about just a team itself. They played really good basketball.
Yeah.
See, so my thing is, a lot of people are going to say, damn, Bill's only like 25. So my thing is, I go back and research a lot of stuff that I hadn't watched so I can contribute to conversations like this whenever folks that are older than me talk about these teams, because I want to be able to fit into the conversation. And because I've watched so many of their games, the one thing that got me about the 96 Bulls was the switch that they could flip so quick.
Yeah.
I mean, through 3 quarters, they could be kind of lollygagging. In the 4th quarter, once Scotty and Mike flip that switch defensively, and they get out in transition, it's a wrap.
I mean,
You had Ron Harper, who was he had a bad knee by then, but he was still serviceable.
yeah, I agree. I
So-
agree. And I don't expect Pooh to name any more because he's talking about 5 teams. He picked the 96. You got any more? Because I got a few myself.
I mean, even if he doesn't have
yeah,
5, just throw out any that you can think of.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's actually what I'm gonna do. I mean, the ones that I could think of for number two, and you may see where I'm going with this. I'm going with more so teams that I think they were either dominant or they was just so much goddamn fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to say the Warriors at two.
Wait,
Granted,
wait,
they
wait,
lost
Which year?
which year?
the year. Honestly, the year they actually brought in Durant, as much as I hate to say it, even though Durant coming in was
Last year?
unnecessary,
Okay.
they was too fucking hard to stop.
I'll make an
I mean,
argument.
what the fuck?
I'll make an argument
Or the
that
year previous to that.
the Warriors team the year before that was better.
Yeah, or that. I mean, like the fuck.
I think the 73 and 19 was better. I can agree with that.
That
I mean-
73 and 9 team, first off, they were unguardable. Secondly, they were the best defensive team in the league. Third, when you're running the offense solely through Steph and Klay Thompson, and you still had those supporting cast players there that they lost in this past offseason, that's what made them so dangerous. They literally had two starting lineups, essentially.
I would have to say for number three. I would have to go back to back Pistons with this one. I would have to go with the. What year was it when they enforced the Jordan rules?
80, well, I mean, multiple years. Like
They
88,
did the Jordan rules. That was 87.
88, 89.
Yeah,
I think it was like, one of those games where I think it had been one of those games. I think they knocked Jordan out of the playoffs at that point.
Well, they did 3 years in a row.
They did? Okay.
88,
What year
89,
was the best-
90.
Okay.
The best iteration of them, I would say, was 89. Either 89 or 90. You can go either way. I would pick 90 because they completely and utterly dominated the Blazers in that series. The Blazers looked like they had no business on the same court as those dudes. The Lakers put up a little bit more of a fight, but Magic's hamstring kind of fought them a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that-
1990. Whew,
Yeah, that one. I think I'm at 3 now.
Yep.
The 04 Pistons. That was so much fucking fun to watch. I couldn't help it.
They were
I
pretty-
wanted them to win the fucking. I think they did win it that year. I wanted them to win it that year so
They
fucking
beat the
bad.
Lakers in 5.
Yup, and then it was the year after that. Fuck you, Robert Horry. I was mad for Pistons fans, man, when he hit that 3.
Hey, man.
God!
Nah, that was,
I think it was either the year there or 06.
yeah,
One of those
probably
years.
5, yeah, I think.
Yeah, one of those years. Fuck you, Robert Horry. Yeah, that, and I would have to go for my final, the Spurs team that was with when it was Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
2003 or 99, though.
I'm probably have to say 99 because they were younger. But you could go with 2003. I mean, I'll go with 2003. I mean, like, just in case.
Let me give you my teams. Obviously, I like the 1990. No, not the 91. I'll say the 92 Bulls.
Okay.
The 96 Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
The 98 Bulls.
God damn.
Okay.
Well, you know, I'm a Bulls fan, so that's me.
Right.
The 2002 Lakers. Was it 2002? I think it was the 2002 Lakers. And I also like the was it 05? What year that was? It was the 05 Spurs. The one that they won. Was it the one they won the championship in 05?
Like I said.
Well, they won in 03, 05, and 07.
Yeah, it was
Like
05 Spurs.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the last one that Sean Elliott was on?
Like I said.
Nah,
fuck
he was on
Robert Horry.
the 03
He was
one, I
on 03
think.
one. Okay, it was
Yeah.
on 03.
Mhm.
Okay, but I like the 05 Spurs. I like that team as well.
I knew you'd say that. Just because I said fuck Robert Horry.
I have so many teams to name. I can't even limit it really to 5. I'll just spend a couple seconds on each one. Going to Pooh City, the 83 Sixers got to be one of the best
they were
teams of
nice.
all time.
They were nice. Yeah, they were
Look
nice.
at Moses Malone going fo. He pretty much said, you know, they were going to win 12 games straight, which they ended up not doing. But, I mean, they only dropped, I think, one game during that span, or 2 games, and they just dominated people. I mean, you got Bobby Jones coming off the bench. He's probably the greatest 6-man of all time.
Really? Ooh.
Greatest 6-man of all time? Bobby Jones got to be.
No, he's out there. Bobby
Isn't
Jones. No, Bobby
Isn't
Jones.
Manu making that case?
No,
right
Bobby
now?
Jones ain't bad, man. But man, you looking at like Jamal Crawford and Jason Terry, man.
Bobby Jones got him, bro. Bobby Jones got
Oh,
him, man.
you
I'm
might
telling
you
you.
might be right, man. But
Bobby,
you can.
They have an argument, but Bobby Jones got him, bro. He should. I mean, especially like the multitude of big games he played in.
Yeah, that's a tough one though, man. That's tough.
Nah, they're up there. Nah, they're up there. They're in the same category, and Manu's up there too. But I'm just saying, Bobby Jones, as far as like what he contributed to that team, like he literally was always a 6-man. That's why I call him the great.
I agree. I'm not knocking what you're saying, man. It's just, ooh, man.
Nah,
There are some other ones too, man. Like, Del Curry was nice.
yeah, but better than Bobby Jones.
No,
though?
he wasn't better than Bobby. I'm just saying that
That's my point.
when people come with the argument, man, they got a leg to
That's
stand
true.
on. That's all I'm saying.
Not several people have an argument, but I just think Bobby Jones probably is the best one. Only because literally for most of his career, he was literally the 6-man. Everybody else had to start and roll at one point, or but he was literally, this is my job. Come off the bench, clamp their best player, and fill the lane.
Right, I got you.
So then we got the 84 Celtics were really good. They weren't better than the 86 Celtics, but the 84 Celtics were really good. The 85 Lakers are one of the best teams of all time. The 87 Lakers are even better than that. And
the 87 Lakers was nice.
I consider them the greatest team of all time. When you look at matchups, who would beat them, I can't find anybody. The 01 Lakers that went 15-1, they were completely and utterly dominant. If you look at the Western Conference that they swept through, they only dropped one game to Philly. It took Iverson dropping, 48?
Yeah.
To do it? So, I mean, they swept the Kings, they swept the Blazers, they swept San Antonio, so they definitely got to be on there. I like the 93 Bulls.
Yeah, 93
I like the
was
93
nice.
Bulls because they played their hardest team, in my opinion, in the Jordan era in the finals, which was the Suns. So I got to go with the 93 Bulls.
Yeah, because didn't Barkley and them took game 1 or something like that?
I think they took game 2, I believe, and they took game...
Let me go back and look. I thought they took game 1, but I could be wrong.
Wait a minute. Who had the home court advantage in that series?
I'm about to find out right now.
I'm trying to think.
I'm about to look it up right now.
I know they stole a game on Chicago's court. It sent it back to Phoenix, and then Phoenix closed it out because Chicago closed it out.
If y'all got time, I'd actually like to do football as well for all-time teams or some shit like that.
No, I think. No, we're gonna do football on another podcast, another episode.
Damn it.
But yeah, and then
I think Phoenix had the number 1 seed in the West, and Chicago had the number 2 seed. So I think they had home court.
Okay. Then a couple other teams. You gotta say the 2016 Golden State.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Look. Hold on. It don't say. I think Phoenix won the first 2 games.
No, because the first game, I think MJ, either it was one of the games in Chicago. He had 55. I don't know which game that was. If it was game 3, but I know back then.
I take it back. They got to flip the other way.
Yeah.
No. Chicago won the first 2 in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then I think game 3 went to Phoenix.
It went through triple overtime in Phoenix. Yeah.
Game 4 went to Chicago. Game 5 went to Phoenix, and Game 6 went to Chicago. But yeah, 2016 Warriors, amazing team, one of the best teams I've ever seen. The 2014 Spurs, a lot of people sleep on them. They will beat Miami by 30 at halftime in every game Miami played at home in that.
I can't say that was a great team, even though they were good. That game, that 2014 team was set up for revenge. They lost to the finals.
What I'm saying.
They lost in the finals in 7 games on a tip 3-pointer by Ray Allen. Yes. I mean, it was devastating how they lost.
And then the shot from Tim Duncan in Game 7.
Yeah.
After they were pretty much demoralized.
Yeah, he knew that shot hurt him because he missed that shot, and that shot would have won it for him. And he missed.
I get what you're saying, but look at the teams they beat the next year.
No,
swept Oklahoma
they
City.
wasn't playing around. I mean, I'm not saying they were bad
But that's what
teams.
I'm saying. So
I ain't
it's
saying
like,
that. I ain't trying to say they were bad teams. But that they wanted to beat Miami so bad,
of
and
course.
they beat them down because they felt that last year they should have won that title the year before.
No, of course, but I'm saying as far as teams I've watched, goodness gracious, I mean, to be up by 30 or 25 at least every game in Miami,
Yeah,
uh, in a finals is just unreal to
that
me.
was almost hard to watch.
It was.
That really was almost hard to watch.
Miami had no chance. They
Right.
had no chance. That was the most beautiful basketball I'd ever watched for a full series. I mean, the
That's
Spurs
one thing.
ball
That's one
movement and
thing.
everything.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and that's one thing about the Spurs in general. I mean, um, ever since Tim Duncan got there, they Popovich put that in them to play like really good team basketball,
Hmm.
and they kept it that way. I mean, it was like great, but we're coming
Right.
up on the 2 hour mark. I mean, anything else you
Yeah.
want to add? I mean, we did all the teams, we did players. I think we should carry on this the next time we do the
Yeah, we'll
NFL
do the
teams.
football, yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely can't wait for that.
Definitely could do
For now.
that, and
We'll probably brainstorm when we get off there.
yeah, we could
Yeah,
talk
most
about
likely.
that as well, and we could talk about that and brainstorm and see what we could come up with.
Hmm.
I don't have anything else to add to the conversation or the podcast. I mean, anything else you want to say, Pooh?
No.
Oh, close enough.
Oh,
Short and sweet.
Yeah, that's close enough. What about you,
Nah,
Bills?
folks, thanks for listening, man. And once again, spread the word. Please spread the word. Like, share, subscribe to VF's channel, subscribe to my channel at Bills4. We'll keep the content coming out to you guys, and make sure you leave any topics you want us to go over in the comment section as well. And we'll be back with much more content.
Yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate it. You know, all the support we've been getting lately. I mean, a lot of people come by. They look at the content that we have. They listen to us, and like I said earlier, man, that's all we ask is ask you to listen to what we have to say. I mean, we're not like these other podcasts, and I have nothing against them. You know, they have to do what they have to do, but for us, all we just want you to do is listen and give us feedback, and I hope you take something from it to add to your thoughts. And that's pretty much it, man. And like I said, we appreciate you guys coming through. If you made it this far, and we will definitely be coming back through with more episodes and more content. And hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we'll be out. Peace.
mm-hmm.
Peace.
Later.